Look. If you don't want to make that change within yourself, it's not going to get better. This might not apply to everybody. But if you feel like you're rock bottom, okay, and you're hoping for a better day, but you literally are doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, that's the definition of insanity. You are provided with a choice every day. You are provided with multiple choices throughout the entire day. Take that choice, make that change. You've identified a problem. You're saying you're rock bottom. Got it. You're there now. There's only one way, and it's up. So change your mindset. Use that choice and go a freaking different direction. Love y'all. Faceman VTT out.
Day 3 of retirement. As an infantryman, I was asked if I could clean the sink. So let's look at this. Definitely some kind of grime on there. And I open up the cabinet. What do I use? Nothing comes to mind. Like my experiences, my skill set. Nothing. Wait a minute. Everyone knows this is how you clean everything. Infantry, retired.
You can just take it.
Would you like a military discount?
Do you offer one?
Honest cap of the day.
Thank you.
CC's Pizza is the county fair of restaurants. You go in there, you look around, you feel a little bit better about yourself, then you realize that you're in there too. Tell me I'm wrong. Well, let's be honest. You know, not everybody's made for this life. It's scary. You know, you gotta jump out of a plane while it's moving. That's not natural. It's high, it's fucking wet outside sometimes, it's snowy, it's hot, it's dry, it's shitty. Who the fuck would want to be airborne? Best job I ever had.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, hosted by Nick, Dave, and Buddy. Real warriors making fun of other real warriors. Try to not get triggered.
What was that? Anyway. What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 134 of the Trash Talk Hour. And today we have returning guest and former Navy SEAL Colin, who's going to be promoting his comic book. And as usual, I'm here with Nick and Buddy. What's up, everybody?
I am freaking.
No, the intro sounded really weird. Like the music was weird.
Oh,
it's probably your new headphones.
Probably your German headphones. Not sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
It's the same ones I've been using for
Jimmy
134
Bates is
episodes,
back
buddy.
on YouTube.
Yeah. Everybody
What's up,
knows
Jimmy?
that if you have German headphones, that the shit comes through all techno-y.
Yeah, they run on diesel.
Yeah.
So everybody
Real
knows
quick,
that.
Nick mentioned YouTube. Jimmy Bates is on YouTube. So everybody that's on Facebook, do us a favor again. We're going to do this plug. Go over to YouTube, give us a like, and hit that subscribe button, right? Because you don't smash that. What will all the kids say? Smash that like button and hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, hey Linda, is everybody's coming in and out, or just Dave's stupid ass?
Just Dave.
Just Dave.
Those new headphones that he didn't plug in.
I'm pumped. I'm pumped because this is back-to-back weeks where we had somebody on who talked about doing something, then they finished doing it, and now we're having them on to show the finished product. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, that episode. If you guys didn't see it, you guys watched it. If you didn't watch our episode last week or listen to it, it's pretty wild. Like, I love talking to that dude.
Yeah.
Forgetting the bipolar general.
It was an amazing
I believe
episode.
he was like the Blues Brothers. We're on a mission from God. So that's good. But yeah, what do we got going on?
Yeah, we're gonna kickstart a conspiracy again. This time Colin is gonna lead the way with that. Because he is definitely a tinfoil hat guy. I don't know what else to call him. No, but he's got some really good stuff. And Colin, you're gonna lead the way with it, and give us what you got, brother.
Okay, well, we just lost I just find it interesting that the government announces that we lost an F-35 stealth fighter jet the other day. And my biggest question is, why the hell would you announce that to anyone? I mean, if you lose a gun in the military, you're pretty much out of the unit, I think. But it's kind of pretty close to saying, hey, ladies and gentlemen, we lost a nuclear bomb, but don't worry, it's probably in Chicago or New York. We're going to find it. But
I feel like I
there have
didn't
been
all of that story. I don't know what happened there. What
we're about to find out what happened.
Yeah, what was the thing?
Yeah, we have a clip here, and there's an interview with somebody that actually was a witness to the crash landing in South Carolina, and it's pretty funny. And then I can tell you what she goes on to say for the rest of the 7 minutes, and then I have another thing that I found on Telegram, and what might be the real tinfoil hat, the real theory, or the real aim as what was supposed to happen with that jet. So
Interesting. All right.
They weren't aiming high, that's for sure.
I'll always be your wingman, except this time.
Not gonna be. Wasn't it the first female F-35 pilot?
Fuck you.
I'm not gonna go there, but I'm just saying, like,
was it?
Yeah.
Apparently, there's no information on the pilot. It's just he ejected, and it reminds me of Iron Man 3. He probably just ejected
so
and went
the
to
pilot
see the kid's barn.
and the airplane just kept on going?
Kept going. Yep.
It kept going on autopilot. Yeah. And then the autopilot apparently crashed in South Carolina.
Yep.
Isn't that the same place that the balloon crashed?
Exactly.
I think so.
Balloon?
Yeah.
Oh man, we are putting them together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so are we watching a video right now or what? Is this?
I don't know. I think Chris is waiting to play it. This is Chris's masterpiece. An hour before the show started, Dave.
It's about 2.5 minutes.
Chris.
Good job, Dave.
It's about 100 feet above the treetops and almost going inverted. In other words, the thing was basically upside down. But here's the kicker on this whole thing. I find it interesting that the military put out Sunday that they had this missing plane. Yet, according to eyewitness testimony, they're saying that they saw it and heard it on Sunday. You would think that it would have been reported by then, so why the news release? But hey, maybe there's a gap. All quite possible. But either way, that's them reporting, on what happened. Here's another guy, and this is the funniest interview, by the way, of a young man and his account of what happened. I think this video is going to go viral as one of the craziest interviews. But take a listen to this young man's account of what happened with this jet.
I was in the bathroom taking a shave, and I heard a screeching, between a screech and a whistle. I said, what in the world is this? And I heard a boom. Then my whole house shook.
Who does that? I love this guy, whoever he is. He's funny. Got to give him a lot of credit there. At least he got really excited. I think he's going to be semi-famous after that. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty of this story, because we're literally talking about 90 million, 100 million, whatever kind of a factor there, somewhere in that level, a 90 to $100 million jet from Lockheed Martin. Now, this particular jet, to give you a background, is one of the most lethal, stealthy, and survivable aircrafts. Most survivable aircrafts in the entire world. Really, really top-notch kind of jet. And we have this pilot ejecting from it. Now, the next question I have is, why the heck did the pilot eject? What would cause him to do such a thing? Well, according to recent information that just came out, he is stating that, he ejected, according to reports anyway, this is their account, due to bad weather. No joke. Take a look here, New York Post. F-35 pilot ejected from a $100 million jet over South Carolina due to bad weather, as experts reveal why the plane could not be tracked. It goes on. The pilot who ejected from the $100 million F-35 fighter jet claimed to have lost the plane in the weather and likely bailed out before he could activate its tracking system, sources and experts said. He's unsure of where his plane crashed. He said that he just lost it in the weather. Now, the pilot has not been identified. He landed in North Charleston residential neighborhood. He was taken to the hospital for treatment, and he has since been discharged. Well, that's his story. And
yeah, he went to the hospital because he didn't do a proper PLF, I guess. But
he was inverted.
Hold on.
Fucking weather.
I'm so confused, and that's the thing that confuses me about this whole story is when they talk about the pilot. How are you lost? You're there. You're with it.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's not like, and you're over South Carolina. Where the fuck did you think you were? Like, thought that he hit like a time warp, and he's like, we could actually be in fucking Russia right now. I don't know. I need to eject. It's the weather.
It's like if they put me
a portal.
Yeah,
You hit the nail in the head, dude. He actually was in Russia. It was a covert mission, and he flew through a portal and ended up back in South Carolina. But the Russians were actually shooting at him, so he ejected, thinking he was ejecting in Russia, but he ejected in South Carolina.
And the plane just
It's like
you ever seen where like somebody falls off a bicycle or a motorcycle and it keeps on like going? Is that what we're talking about? Like within hundreds of millions of dollars worth of equipment, it's just continuing. Like it's like fuck, I didn't even. It's weird. It's just odd. This is the weirdest shit ever.
This is really weird, Colin. What's your entire take on this video? Since you obviously brought the conspiracy to us, like what happened?
Well, she goes on to say that most likely, like the Chinese like hacked the computer system because I think maybe some of the parts came from China or whatever. But what I have here from Benjamin Fulford on Telegram, scrolling down, it says like the real plan was to use a direct energy weapon on this plane against Los Angeles and totally obliterate Los Angeles. And he decided to say, fuck that. And he ejected and then sent the autopilot to go crash in rural South Carolina. Jesus. So with all the other shit that we've been seeing in the past year, I don't know exactly where he ejected.
Where he was found in Charlotte, wasn't he? Didn't I say?
Charleston?
Charleston,
yeah.
Charleston, South Carolina, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a great place to land.
It is. Charleston's nice. So,
yeah.
What the fuck did Las Vegas do that we want to burn into? Like,
no, Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, they wanted to do basically a false flag event, annihilate the city. They've already annihilated another town. They've had a couple train crashes with chemical spills, making like the entire place fucking useless. Some people are getting $700 from this administration. Meanwhile, we're sending ballistic weapons over to Ukraine. And they want to disarm the public. And basically, I think the whole Agenda 21/30 thing is in full motion. And you will eat the bugs unless we fight back.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
Sorry. So he rebelled against his orders to destroy a city. That's what I think happened.
Well, good dude.
Interesting.
Yeah, we just watched. I watched the movie Outbreak. Where they were going to bomb the town, and then what's his name? Dustin Hoffman gets up in the helicopter and says, "Do not follow that order." Right. So you think something like that happened? You think there was there's any communication where somebody got leaked of what was going on and had to talk him out of it, and the guy just lost it, or did he press the wrong button? I like that one. I think he pressed the wrong button.
Yeah.
Like,
oh
shit.
He might have been a new pilot, the first time flying, and he's like doing all this shit, and then accidentally, I don't know where the eject button is, but accidentally.
I don't think it's a button. I don't think it's a button.
It's a lever, right, or something like that.
I feel like
is it like a lever, like you see in the movies, right? They just
Is he pulling it from the top? Is it from the bottom? Like what we
it would be like if you put me in a pilot suit.
There might be a button. Like technology is pretty intense, It might just be it might even say eject and do not push until required.
Is it
or did
really
AI
a coincidence that Chinese weather balloon went down over South Carolina and an F-35. I think what we're finding out is that rednecks have figured out how to shoot anything down during season. Like,
yes.
Is it dove season yet? Because that's what I'm finding. It's like, if it's in the air and they can hit it, it's fucking
what's the F-35 called? What's the name of it?
Is the Raptor.
Yeah, so maybe it's Raptor season at all times because that's a dinosaur. So I think you're allowed to shoot a Raptor whenever.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that it's not like the pilot landed and they didn't have like a bunch of South Carolinians just with their his head up, like taking pictures of him, like standing on him and shit. Like,
There's also the Ford Raptor, and there's also like trailers that you go hiking or camping with called the Raptor, which I don't understand why you would call that a Raptor.
You ever seen Jurassic Park? Those things are mean as fuck.
Yeah. Hey.
Apparently they're feathered.
This is a great conspiracy or not.
This is kind of crazy, man. Like,
shit. Like it's like
the New York Post reporting that it was because of bad weather. I mean, like
we don't know what the weather is. Like, we can't be like
bad weather. That's a good one.
Gonna be some bad weather. Like I'm saying, it had to have been like he was like flying, and all of a sudden a portal opened up, and he was like, "Shit, eject."
Or
F-35 stop in midair. Can an F-35 stop in midair?
They could turn around.
Yeah, like they could turn around. Do a U-turn.
They can land like a helicopter onto Navy ships.
Yeah.
Maybe
like in a storm.
Maybe aliens took it down.
Well, Lockheed Martin had Skunk Works. They are one of the companies.
I had to once for Buddy today.
Yeah,
and they're going to come out with it later and tell us, and then that's going to be the alien threat again. Now UAPs are shooting at our, planes and shit, and then
our technology got too good. We got to put it back in our place a little bit.
They're
like, hey, easy there, Earthlings. Like
the real story is, I was the pilot, and they said, "Hey, man, just go there, fly it around. No big deal. The plane flies itself," and it's the equivalent of me trying to copy and paste a link for the show on Facebook.
It's not working out well. Well, Jimmy says
this is a weird one, man. I don't know,
a bird of prey. It's not a dinosaur. It's a bird of prey.
Well, first of all, why would you even tell the public, we lost an F-35? That's
maybe so somebody could turn it in.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it crashed somewhere, then there's obviously there were eyewitnesses that saw it crash. So I think you probably got to announce it to the public because like hundreds of people probably saw this plane coming down, and it would be questions like local news stations and stuff.
We know that one dude did. I'd love to see that.
You got Sean Erickson watching. I know you got old Paul Harrison. I only support Colin.
I'd love to see it on milk cartons.
Yeah. PJ's on your side, Colin. He doesn't believe any of us. And then of course our favorite crazy lady, Susan's on. So
Susan, we've had our conversations.
I do believe that is the thing though. Colin did hit the nail on the head when he said, if you lose like an I cup to a set of nods, you're walking up and down the drop zone.
100%.
I can't even imagine how they were planning on like getting the entire Air Force online to find this F-35. Like, come on, guys.
There is an air base in Charleston. Everybody get outside. Get online.
There's a couple in South Carolina. I'm sure
we're going to go find a jet.
There's been so much whistleblowing activity lately, about earthquake makers in Antarctica. Like Dr. Stephen Greer had a press conference back in June, and this kind of opened floodgates to like the David Grush Senate hearings and talking about UFOs. Lockheed Martin, that makes the F-35, they had Skunk Works they were the ones that were reverse engineering UFOs. So there's a lot they're not telling us. It's unbelievable that they tell us bad weather when we've got helicopters that can do like loop-de-loops in bad weather. It's all a bunch of bullshit. And I think with all these, there's so much emphasis on this nonsensical climate change argument that they are actually starting fires. There's one report saying 80% of all wildfires are man-made, and I bet it's even more. Like the one in Canada where my buddy was working out outside in North Carolina, and he could feel his lungs burning. He usually works outside for a couple of hours. But this is at the end of winter when snow is melting in Canada. Maybe it was a dry winter, but it's still Canada. It's still cold. Nothing was going ablaze. I think it was a directed energy weapon, just like they used in 9/11, just like they used in another place that Dave told me not to mention. But they're using directed energy weapons to start wildfires and blame it on climate change. So then they could basically tax us more and put us in smart cities and all this other bullshit.
Ooh, I did see that theory, the one about Hawaii and the smart city thing.
Blue houses, blue tents, whatever. Those weren't crushed.
Yeah, but, I actually put blue tarps all over the top of my house because of it.
I mean, that's kind of like.
I don't have enough money to paint it, so I just got a bunch of those real big blue tarps.
I'm still thinking about this plane, and I know we're going to move on to the rest of the show. But
sheep's blood over your doorway. So
what if the plane was actually again? No, like seriously, what if the plane was a UFO and they're just saying it was a stealth bomber? What if we shot down another UAP and they're just saying it was a stealth bomber because, like, that witness, he's like, it went, the sounds he was making. What if it was a UFO that was shot? You know, he used to say weather balloons, and this time they just called it a stealth bomber.
Man, yeah, I'd be pissed if I flew across the universe and I got shot down just because I wanted to come.
Yeah, Buddy always
do
says
something
that, and it's a very valid point. We're not going to get into the alien discussion, but what if that's what actually happened?
Well, then if we're not going to get into it, why are you asking the question?
That's a good point. I guess it's more of me making a statement.
There you go.
It's
rhetorical.
It's rhetorical.
Randomly talking.
Just randomly talking. But I don't know. I think that's a pretty good take.
Well, it's an expensive aircraft. Like, first of all, and this would be our primary weapon of war. God knows this administration wants to start World War III. These would be the premier jets.
Why would we announce that it went down in bad weather then? That doesn't make it a premier weapon of war, Like
it was windy out.
Yeah.
South Carolina is beautiful that day, I guarantee it.
Yep. South Carolina is gorgeous, But what does the crowd? Hey, what does everybody watching think? We got a lot of viewers right now. Like, what are we talking about here? Sean's blaming the Marines, which makes sense. He says, but it was a stealth plane. That's why we couldn't find it. So it was working. Right, it kept flying and we couldn't find it.
Am I supposed to? Yeah, okay. Am I really supposed to believe that we don't have technology to track these planes? I mean, they said he turned the transponder off, and then he ejected. So if this was a deep state operation to destroy a city, and he was just like, guess what? I love America. I'm not doing that. I'm kind of more believing that. I'm definitely not believing.
Patriotic of him. Yeah.
I definitely don't believe bad weather.
Yeah, and I mean there is truth to pilots not doing things that they're ordered to do. I mean that's how Congress found out about the Phoenix program in Vietnam is the pilots stopped bombing Laos and Cambodia. They were like, no, we're literally carpet bombing villages, and they were like, we're not doing that anymore. And then Congress was like, wait a minute, where are you getting the funding for this? And the CIA is like. Walking out the door, like, not from us. Nope. Like, not the heroin trade. Not us.
Yeah.
So,
well, Nick, before we move on, what's your take on all this?
Well, that's what I'm saying. There is truth to it. Otherwise, we'd just all be morons, like Susan's calling us, right? But there is truth that pilots in the past for the United States government didn't do what they were ordered to do. So it is possible that he. Maybe he was just like fucking about because it doesn't until they release the report. There's, I don't know, man. Like I think. Yeah.
Have you seen the movie Stealth from back with John Travolta?
You think it was something serious, Nick? You think he was maybe like going? I'm not sure about California, like with this energy weapon, but like you think it was something serious? And he's like, "Fuck that, I'm not doing this." Like
that or the Chinese hacked the system. Right, and we don't want to scare people into thinking that.
We don't want to admit to that. Yeah,
we don't want to admit to it and give Chiang Kai-shek the freaking the kudos. But then again, we told everybody that aliens existed. Nobody gave a shit. So like, it's possible.
Nobody cared.
Nobody gave.
And there's tons of videos of people saying, "I don't care about aliens. I got to pay my rent."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Black Arrow. That's what it's called, not Stealth. Or is it Broken Arrow?
Broken Arrow.
Broken Arrow.
Yeah, like him and thanks Raymond. Him and
thanks Raymond.
What's his name?
With John Travolta and then the guy from Guts.
I can't remember his name either. River Phoenix or something.
Christian Slater.
Christian
Slater.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I know just enough information to get you guys on the right track. That's what.
It was good. That's all you do sometimes. Stealth was Jamie Foxx.
Aircraft.
Yeah.
Don't all aircraft typically have like a second, like a wingman with them? Aren't they usually flying in pairs? I don't know what they're doing. I'm just asking.
I thought that's what did. I thought they said there was another airplane. And
is that right?
Was like lost sight of it or some shit like that.
Buzz Lightyear is watching. I honestly thought it said Buzz Lightyear. I was like, that's awesome that Buzz Lightyear just signed on to watch about this. So I don't know. Buzz Lightyear, make a comment. That is a great name.
I do like Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, we'll wait until the report comes out, and then
Yeah, we're going to have to rehash this one out. Maybe we'll bring Colin on again.
For sure. Good one, Colin. Good one. Good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. This is a good one where I don't think any of us really know. Like it's
I do know that there's enough about this story that doesn't make any sense, like to the military, that it's just like,
yeah, exactly. Like we've lied about some shit before in the military. Like I've been a part of some lies. Like with the AT4 and Samara, we've been a part of some lies.
Yeah. But this also looks like shit that like one of their privates or specialists came up with. Like, what do we tell them? It's jumping up weather. Weather.
Look at hurricane.
With some lightning up here. They checked. What? What are we doing?
Yeah. But there was.
Did you hear that? I'm out.
Well, I think we lied on top of a lie about going into Iraq to begin with, because I know a guy who told me he found, like, they went into a huge ASP, 55-gallon drums, everywhere skull and crossbones stickers, made in the USA, a bunch of chemical weapons.
Oh yeah, well we knew that. We knew that at the beginning.
Yeah,
we gave it to him.
Just like when we almost jumped. When we almost jumped into Libya. When we almost jumped into Libya was to go after the gas that we gave them.
Yeah, well, like I said, it always made me laugh when people were like, "How do we even know they have chemical weapons in Iraq?" Because we have receipts, motherfucker. We gave them the hand receipt.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you think we were doing in the '80s? Like, here's some fucking nerve agents.
Yeah.
Go kill more Iranians.
People. It smells like apple pies in here.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
But there was this story did, breed a meme that broke the internet where it had a picture of Aaron Rodgers getting carried off the field and then
that shit was funny as hell,
where it said that there are $190 million in Jets lost this week. Like, whoa, that's a winner. That's a winner. Yeah. Speaking of winners. All right, Big Earl's going to try something new here. All right, we're going to call it as Dave calls me, the Facebook terrorist. All right, we're going to try the troll of the week. All right, so this was somebody that I trolled, and I actually got told that maybe it's a counter troll, and she was trolling me. Right, and I was like, that is a possibility because what she was saying is out there, right? Like crazy. But to tell you about the post, I literally made a post of an opinion. I even stated this is my opinion, right? That people who play sports are better employees and more likely to be successful, in the workforce, right? They'll be better teammates, and they'll understand pressure. They build resilience, right? They understand defeat at a young age, right? And, as opposed to the people now where we don't keep score, but it is what it is. So I would just made that post. And then the last thing I put on my post was go ahead and place your biased subjective opinion about my opinion on this chat thread. Like I literally said, you're going to do this. Some of you are going to do this and that's okay. Right. You're going to come on here and get mad at me for posting my opinion on my page. Okay. So it's like, it's funny. And so here we go. We got Katie Jane. All right, buddy. Did you read this yet? Did you read it?
I didn't understand it when I read it. There was a lot of things that I was like, if this is the spouse of somebody that might have been in the army at some point. But like,
so she does have a Mrs. E9 sticker probably on her windshield.
It does sound like she knows just enough to make her sound not real smart.
If you go on the thread, buddy, you'll die laughing. There's more from this lady on there, right?
Yeah,
and. So she said, sports are dumb. My son didn't play sports, and he's a 68 whiskey medic, combat medic, very successful. And I was like, in the 82nd Airborne, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I have your last name. I know every brigade sergeant major 82nd. Like, I'm about to fucking have fun with this guy. So it's like, I'm going to make this happen. But, even, Megan got on there, and then, other people got on there talking about it. And I was like, hey, look, a lot of like, well, my kid did JROTC. Like, yeah, that's team building too, right? Like, you do things together, right? Like, you're learning how to work with others. There's plenty of hobbies that can create, teamwork, but I always say sports is better. And then somebody goes, oh, your opinion's stupid. I go, well, data backs me up. And then he's like, what data? And so I share the data of like the top 800 CEOs, top companies in America. 57% of them said they attribute most of their success to sports growing up. Right. And it's like, I'm not determining what success is for you. That's your own opinion. That's your own bias. But people who play sports, okay, they just learn at a younger age things that sometimes people don't ever learn. Like, some people still don't even know what it feels like to actually lose.
Like working together. Yeah, losing.
Yeah.
Well,
losing.
The sad thing is that there are more
Is
people.
that because they're only winning?
It's like to win.
Yeah. They're only winning,
They're
or they
only
never.
winning. They don't know what losing is.
They never take
Yeah,
a
I know what you
chance.
meant.
Yeah, they never go out and try something, right? Because they're terrified of losing, right? But an athlete, especially, like, I'll use my own experiences. I was a very good football player on a very bad team, right? Like, I got the shit kicked out of me every Friday, like, bad, right? And it's like, I just, did I quit? Right? Like, no, like, but I got the ball 40 times a game, and it didn't feel good, right? Like, JJ Watt was in my conference, for crying out loud. Like, this shit didn't feel good, and it's like, so yeah, that's all my point was. But let's look at Katie here. This is what we talk about for those of you watching that don't understand, like, what the Big Earl is very good at. So I am very, very good at getting you upset on Facebook, and I don't give two shits about what I'm writing, and I press send, and then I laugh. Right. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun. But as you can see, all right, this group is about trash talk, but your moron totally just showed. Not only is your sentence grammatically incorrect, but it clearly shows you know jack shit. So let me explain, Lucy. 68 Whiskey is a combat medic for the 82nd, which is infantry. Mic drop.
Well, I mean,
I just learned that too.
Part of it. We
gotta send her a free shirt, bro.
Yeah,
gotta send her a free shirt.
It's probably a triple extra large.
I have one in mind.
But in the thread before that, he goes, and he got an RCOM for qualifying on the M249.
Damn, serious business.
First of all, we're giving motherfuckers an RCOM for doing.
Well, he's a medic.
To do
medics don't fire machine guns. Right, so that's a big deal.
SF guys that have gone on a 6-month deployment and gotten an RCOM when they got back. Hey, you're getting this motherfucking RCOM because he knows how to use a light machine gun. Damn.
Well, that's what I said to her. I go, in infantry.
No, Patrick, we can't do that. Sorry.
If you don't qualify on the 249, you get fired.
In the Navy, I knew a SEAL who went to Nav lead school, and this regular ship guy next to him had a Navy Marine Corps medal, and he's like, hey man, what'd you get that for? Because they're usually kind of hard to get. Filling up soda machines on the ship.
Yeah, you got Susan telling me to F off. She says, I'll do what I want. I'll read books that destroys the legitimacy of everything you believe in. Okay, Susan.
She might not be referring to you. Maybe she's referring to her, though. Susan Panchetta is a little crazy.
Yeah, maybe. Susan, what if the book's about sports?
We're not going to do that this time. We're not going to.
But we're not going to. Yeah, we're not going to get to that.
Susan,
to trigger me. Not going to happen.
Just keep commenting.
Is she listening to this?
Yeah, she is. But
everybody you see in that chat right there.
I had to stop. I actually had composure.
It's actually with a V, Susan. Now you're triggering me. It's not the ASVAB. It's the ASVAB. So you probably should learn how to spell that test correctly before you tell us what you scored on.
My ASVAB. My ASVAB score.
It's a vocational aptitude battery.
Yeah. It's the ASVAB. Yeah.
So
my son just got a 112 GT on it. Yeah.
I actually showed
I do love the fact. Hold on, I'm sorry. I have to point out that she's like, I'm older now. Well, no shit. Would you be younger? Duh. Like, it's happened in the past. That's how the fucking past, present, and future work. You get older after something happens. Every picture I've ever had is of me when I was younger.
To include the one from 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Duh.
So,
I'm 35 minutes older since when we started the show, I think.
Yeah, and I had to show some restraint because I felt bad. I looked, then I kind of Facebook stalked her a little bit. And I'm like, this lady's crazy. So I go on there, and her picture is literally her son graduating basic.
Hey, people are proud,
right? And so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna leave her alone. All right, like your son's coming home telling you that he's, the god of the 82nd Airborne. And that, everybody respects
That's
him.
Probably not true either.
Probably not true either. Yeah, we don't know.
And just being like, Mom, come on.
We got,
she's taking
him out. Credit. That's what's up.
She's taking him out to Lone Star, and she's like, everyone, this is my son. He just graduated. He's just like, fuck, Mom, I'm just a medic.
Yeah. And why the drill sergeant's all coming over here?
Yeah.
So, and people didn't even realize this, and I was telling them when we first started the show 3 years ago, I was getting my master's degree, and I was literally putting things on Facebook to do research for my master's. I would when we were talking about confirmation bias, I would post
questions.
Yep. I would post a statement and watch shit go nuts, and I would use that for my my discussions in class, like look at this, look what just happened on Facebook, how fast this exploded and how much to me. But anyways. Gonna say it again. I'm a proud papa this week. I got a district champion. All right, Caitlin won the cross country for the district, and the race was in 95-degree weather, 4,000 feet AGL, and it was a shitty day to run. And she showed resilience, toughness, right, and ran 2 miles in 14 minutes and 9 seconds. Right, and so
that's not bad at all.
Fast as shit.
2 miles and how much?
Shit anymore.
1409. Right? 8th grade. And, and again, I still control the narrative of my 8th grader. I still do. Right? That's what I was trying to get at with the post was obviously when they're in high school and they're 16, 17, 18, right? They're starting to figure out life, what they want to kind of do, maybe. Right? But before that, your 7-year-old doesn't get to pick what they do, in my opinion, right? That you control that. Hey, kid, you're going to go outside and play sports. I don't give a shit if you lose. I don't care if you suck at it. You're going to not be fat. You're going to get out there and run, or you're going to do taekwondo, right? You're going to do something, right? You're going to be active. You control that narrative. So right away, she's like, I don't want to do cross country in high school. And I'm sitting there. Well, that's because you are. That's exactly what you're going to do. And you can be mad at me. I don't care. Right? You're going to do that and you're going to win. Right? And you'll love it later. Right? But anyways, put your kids in sports. All right? If you got kids that are overweight, get them active. That's your fault. All right? That is your fault as a parent.
And stop feeding them all that bullshit, because Congress has even made it legal to not advertise the GMOs they're putting in food. And that stuff stops certain enzymes from breaking down the food. And that's why, even here in Italy, I'm at the beach every day, and I cannot believe the amount of fat children I am seeing these days. And it's not good at all,
Yeah, I went to the school board during COVID and was yelling at them when they were contemplating shutting down sports, right? And then, so Susan, I did do some calculus, but a long time ago when I was younger. Okay, but I guess I got to start doing calculus.
Do you even calculus?
But so I went to the school
She's
board.
just trolling us too now.
I know.
That's what she's doing. She's good. She also buys our merch and stuff. So thank you, Susan.
Yeah, and I go to the school board with data, from the CDC website, and I go, hey, look, you had an increase from 2020 to 2021 of 3% in childhood obesity, right? It went from 19 to 22%, right? The largest increase in the last 60 years was 1%. right, in a year. So it's astronomical how much it increased. Okay. And of that 3%, 60% of that 3% were poor kids, okay, from low income families. Of that 60%, 40 something, like I think it was like 44 were Hispanic, and I'm in El Paso. So I read off those stats and I go, does that remind you of anybody in the school district? So right now your stupid COVID laws or your orders that you made, somebody had to make a decision on whether or not to quit a job and stay home with their kid or keep making money. Right. And now that kid's at home eating Uber Eats, right, eating McDonald's, and then you're going to cancel sports.
Yeah. You're not allowed to go to the gym. Don't want you outside in the sun, which is good for you. I did everything almost the opposite of what they were telling everybody else to do.
By far the worst when they said, like, we're going to close beaches. You can't go. Florida.
So somebody put a mannequin out on a beach.
Like, sun was the healthiest thing that you could get. Sun exposure, from my understanding, from looking into it. And when I had it, like, COVID sucked. It was like, felt like a serious cold. But I was outside every day in my pool, just fucking chilling, and I felt so much better. Like, let people go outside, but now you're putting them inside.
You're
not
saying,
exposed to sunlight. Like the air and all that stuff. It was crazy. Florida did
the food poisoning
California
I got in Lebanon. The food poisoning I got in Lebanon from eating a salmon pizza was way worse than the COVID that I had.
That was also your fault. That was
and COVID's back now too.
You ate a salmon pizza. Yeah, that's your fault. That's something that doesn't even get looked at.
Well, if you want to, I have two suggestions. If you want to
swipe left
12 pounds in 3 days, either drink toilet water or get the salmon pizza in Beirut.
There you go. That'll work. How'd you lose weight? I went to Beirut, ate a pizza.
And
what were you gonna say, buddy?
Oh, we got another version of COVID.
It's never left. There's been 19 fucking versions of it.
No, but it's like like people are starting to get it again now. Like, what the fuck's going on, man? That's a whole other conspiracy. Go ahead, buddy.
Well, no kidding. It must be getting close to election time. We need to scare people into voting.
You think, huh? Yeah.
That's
not even a conspiracy. That's fucking facts.
So dumb.
It's scary. It's so bad it scared the flu away.
Yeah,
I like that one, Sean. That's a good cure.
It's like it's an epiphany to people. They're like, oh my God, if there's a respiratory illness, not staying closed up in, say, like the barracks with a bunch of your other family members with your windows closed and just circulating it around and air conditioning and or heating is a bad thing. Get outside and get fresh air.
Yeah.
Like,
but we're gonna get to Colin here with his.
Never lived in open bay barracks before.
So dumb. So dumb.
Just
let's open the windows and sleep head to foot, and then
make a new mask, something that goes to your anus, so you can just breathe your own farts, and that'll help you. Protect yourself from COVID. 21.
I think the Dalai Lama told you
masks are required. Masks are they're a must. Especially like the super shields that they had. Like people were wearing a mask and then they fucking shield around here. Like, intense shit.
They were ready. They were ready. Yeah, anywho, as Buddy would say. Anywho.
Yeah. We spent a lot of time just bullshitting today, huh?
Right. And that's fine.
Though.
Yeah, and
that's what it's all about.
So the Book of Earl is real short, actually. It's just play sports.
God,
have your kids play sports.
Yeah.
Your kids play sports. Right? Like it's my opinion, but it's backed by data. All right. And if your kids are fat and they don't play sports, you're a bad parent. Okay? Like you're killing your child. All right, because you want to be nice to them?
Parents seem to be so overprotective. They don't want their kids falling down, I think there's a lot of laws in Italy that I don't know. You learn by falling down, going boom, scraping your knee, all that shit.
Right. And again, it is what it is. Take it how you want. I just think that if you there's things that I do wrong as a parent. I've been a bad parent before. I'm not a bad parent overall. I don't think so, but I've been a bad parent before. And it's just like, I'm not gonna set my kid up for not being successful by being 40 pounds overweight at 7 years old. Sorry, not gonna do it. And I don't care if they hate me for it. I don't care that my one who just won a district championship gets mad at me all the time and I go run. We're gonna go run. Let's go. All right. So don't give a shit. But all right, let's get to Colin. Like I talked about earlier in the show, this Colin. Is back-to-back guests that said they were going to do something, and then they did it. All right, so if we could put up that blood treasure link, there it is. Okay, and again, Colin forgot from the first time that I spend about 6 seconds on that script, and I make fun of everybody in the script. All right, so in the script, I said, Colin colors in books. All right, so why don't you tell us why you decided to just color in a book and then sell it? But hey, welcome to the Dumpster Fire. Welcome to the Trash Talk Hour. What do we got going on with this blood treasure?
Well, this is originally a screenplay, and I found a company that could basically take a screenplay and turn it into a graphic novel. So I've kind of like turned it into part one of 3 parts to basically equal a 120-page full-length graphic novel and screenplay. So I think mashing 2 stories together of vampires and pirates in the golden age of 1672 would be an awesome idea, because we got so sick of the Pirates of the Caribbean and so how cheesy it was and stuff. I wanted to do something more for adults. And if you look on Amazon, I think it still says like for 13 to 18. It should have said 18 plus, but anybody in Generation X is going to be interested in something like this. It's an action adventure. It's blood drinking, beer drinking, knuckle dragging vampires and pirates going at it. And there's actually a story and some subplots, so it's a real story coming about. So this, what you have up here, is part 1. It doesn't say part 1, but it's 2 comics put together. It's about 42 pages. I like our Jolly Roger in the back. It's almost like a real Jolly Roger, but with like fangs. Pretty cool artwork. It takes place during the slave trade, and one of the slave dudes basically turns into the first mate of the main vampire villain, Captain Devlin du Maurier. And I think it's going to be good, and it could be the start of hopefully a franchise of more graphic novels in different time frames. Not to give the ending away, but vampires, if they're not killed, they can live a couple centuries.
Yeah, so are the vampires going against the pirates, or are they combining forces? Like, what's going on in this? And then who's doing the art?
Right. The art is by James Lyle. The company's name is Storyboard Graphic Novels. And so Storyboard, these are people that specialize in taking your screenplay, which I've written over 20 screenplays now, and haven't been produced. And I thought this would be a great way to hopefully get something produced. So they take the screenplay and then they'll tweak it into the format for a comic book or graphic novel. And then I'll take a look at it. I'll approve the script or make adjustments. And then they start on the artwork. I pay them X amount of dollars to start, X amount to finish the pencils, and then the inks, and then the colors and the lettering. So now we have 2 issues complete that you can buy for $20, and Amazon prints it. It's globally, so if you're in Japan, they'll print it in Japan and send it. In Italy, if you're in America, you'll have it in a couple days as well. So we plan to hopefully have part 2 out by Halloween and part 3 out by around Christmas or something like that. And then
I know. Oh, go ahead, Colin. I was going to ask a question. Yeah, for the audience, so you're obviously a returning guest. So some of the people that are watching today might have seen the episode when you were on here. But can you briefly talk about what inspired you to do this, and was it during your military service, or did you just get out and say, hey, I want to start writing some comics or whatever? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people, entrepreneurs, people that want to become entrepreneurs, authors, whatever, to give them kind of an idea on how that process looks like, or when you decided to do it.
The SEAL teams are definitely at Team 2. My friends, I thought everybody was very creative, and we had a lot of funny guys that I hung out with, Pat Mulderrick and Rob O'Neill. We used to hang out. They're all funny guys. There's more that I could list. But Pat is a buddy of mine who's still living in Hollywood. And after 5 years of contracting in Iraq, he's like, why don't you just come out here, take classes at UCLA and learn how to write screenplays, which we talked about when we were still in the Navy. So when he got out of the Navy, he went up to New York City to take, I forget which school he went to, but learned how to be an actor, director, and writer. And he's taken a lot of classes at UCLA. I took extension classes at UCLA to write screenplays. And here I am 15 or 16 years later, still hoping to make it. I really thought I would have made it about 13 years ago, but here is a much better effort, I think, at putting one of my screenplays, at least in the public eye. And hopefully once the whole story is complete with the ink and lettering, that we're going to have it out there in the Barnes & Noble or whatever. So the story came about when me and a dude from South Africa, he's actually he was Rhodesia. I think they changed the name to another country, but we were in 2011 in Uganda training the UPDF, or the Ugandan People's Defense Force, to go fight Al-Shabaab in Mogadishu. We just got done teaching them CQB and urban training. And my partner, he's a little older, he just got shot across the stomach by an AK-47 because of some poorly trained guys that he was embedded with. But we're sitting there drinking tea in a British tent with satellite, and we're watching this trailer to Pirates of the Caribbean, and we're like, you know, man, it's such a cool idea, but it would have been so much better if it was like for adults. And so we were just shooting the shit. We came up with this idea, Blood Treasure. We came up with Devlin I should credit him with the name Devlin Dumouriez, just a ruthless pirate captain with military experience. And all these guys would have, like, you know, former Royal Navy or French Navy backgrounds, but turned privateer or pirate. So we decided to mash. I basically just took the idea. Yeah, Blood Treasure, Devlin Dumouriez. Tommy Hawkins is the hero. In the beginning, he's spending his time getting drunk in Port Royal, Jamaica. His girlfriend owns a bar, and she's kind of a pirate herself. And then this opportunity arises as Devlin Dumouriez is involved in the slave trade, but, in Africa, he's going after some jewel that he was promised, and it turned out like a vampire attacks him. And he basically turns his whole crew into a crew of vampires. And then, obviously, they can't sail in the day. They keep some mortals loyal to Devlin, and they promise the mortals real treasure, a year contract. After a year, we'll let you go. We want the blood, you'll get the gold, kind of a deal. But then they're starting to go around ravaging other ships, and ships are going missing, and it's fucking up the Caribbean economy. So
this could be a good movie at some point. You never know, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Or a live action series, even like an adult cartoon. So Island Shipping was the one that hired Devlin Dumouriez, but now he's got 3 ships missing, and he hires Tom Hawkins, who's has a reputation for being disobedient during battle, during combat, and that's why he was discharged from the Royal Navy. He's drunk. He has no purpose. Now he's got a purpose. He doesn't like the slave trade. Nobody does, but he wants to be a captain of a ship. So here's his chance. And then it then starts to clash. They get attacked by Devlin Dumouriez and his pirates, his vampire pirates. And so Tommy now has to basically save Island Shipping, the company, save the people of the Caribbean against this. These vampires are basically secluded on this ship, right? And the mortals run it during the day. But before this nightmare spreads, it's Tommy's job and his crew to stop these mother effers, or whatever I can say.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Say it all. That's some intense shit, dude.
Yeah, and then
Buddy has nothing to say. Apparently, the Green Berets are always intimidated by Navy SEALs when they talk. So Buddy's just been awfully quiet, just listening. So just wanted
I think they're more cerebral.
point that out.
It's called listening to the story.
I wanted to point that out real quick. Yeah, I'm just trying to trigger something. I don't know if it worked or not. But
it's not like I could have said something.
I think it did. Good. Anyway,
why didn't they just get sunscreen? And then he would have said something smart like, "Well, it was back in with the slave trade, and 200 years ago they didn't have sunscreen.
They didn't have sunscreen. They had aloe, so
that's after sun. That's after sun.
They didn't want skin cancer, but that's another conspiracy theory.
Yeah, there you go. You got Steve Gibson saying, "Why is the sky blue, you fucks?" And obviously, Steve, it's because God loves medics. Okay, especially 82nd Airborne medics.
Ones that work with the infantry by proxy. You get an RCOM, but I got a 249.
Yeah,
rocking and rolling.
Hey, so Colin, did you play sports as a kid?
Lacrosse, football. I was a skateboarder.
And you went to college? And you can read?
Yeah, I played lacrosse in college. I did 3 different colleges. I went to Hobart, upstate New York.
Nice.
And then I went to, and after studying really hard, I went to community college for a year and a half. It was only supposed to be a semester, and then go back there or another school. But and then I wound up at Virginia Wesleyan. Went there for a semester, and again, I didn't study. I just played lacrosse, and that meant it was time for the Navy. So I had to.
No, I bring that up because how many screenplays have you written? You said it earlier that have not, obviously you haven't got one published yet. You haven't got one made into a movie. How many have you written?
Probably over 20 in the past 16 years, plus a couple pilots. So you're competing. When I started writing, the word was you're competing with 40,000 screenplays a year. Now I think it's easily you're competing with 50,000 screenplays a year, and whoever's writing with Chat GPT.
Right.
But yeah, so something like this I think will make it stand out, a lot easier, because if I was a producer, I could take, the comic book and just literally flip through it and be like, dude, I want to make this fucking movie. And right now with another production company, I rewrote a screenplay, basically 2, and it's been already 6 weeks, and I'm still every day dying. Have they even read it yet? And they could take up to 3 months to read your comic, your screenplay.
It answers the question, but I was going to talk, to people that are listening, and then that's the other thing too is tell people where they can go get your book that are listening and not watching. We've already had, I think it said 3 people have clicked on the QR code. So hey, click on the QR code, go support. There's also another QR code up there that's got the shirts, right? So that goes directly to getting just the tip shirt, all right, or our signature one. Okay, there's plenty of awesome stuff on there, even for the Navy guys. But is there a Navy shirt? Do we have a Navy shirt? I think we do. Or maybe not.
Well, we have
to come up with yeah, we got that. We got the aim high that Buddy referenced earlier.
We got a crushed submarine T-shirt or something.
Yeah, but anyways,
there you go. That's a good idea.
You could have. I guarantee you, there's somebody out there that's trying things and they're not getting exactly what they want. But what keeps you going? Why do you keep writing?
Because I'm basically insanely stubborn and committed to making this my career. And even though I've been working at it for 15 and 16 years, last time I talked to you guys, I was maybe 250 pages into my demonic possession novel, which is also, I took a screenplay and turned it into a novel. Now I'm 450 pages into it with about 150 pages to go. And my friend's going to get it to a publishing company. It'll take about 6 months or maybe a year to get it in proper, book format and in stores. But I feel like I have at least 8 to 10 stories that I've written well. And always when you look back at your own work, you're like, oh, I got to change. This has got to be better. This has got to be better. But I feel like I have enough original content that needs to be put out there that people will enjoy. And I think something like Blood Treasure anybody that liked Game of Thrones or any vampire fans or
any
any
Game of
Black
Thrones was
Sails,
shit.
any Black Sails fans.
There was
Those
a
kind
pirate
of
movie
people
I
are
used to
going to like
watch.
this
I liked
this
it a lot.
story.
When he started talking about watching a Pirates movie while deployed, I was like, I think a lot of us have watched that Pirates movie while deployed.
There's two of them. The sequel too.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah. No, that's.
Hey,
go ahead.
That movie got passed around.
I mean, I've written a few demonic possession stories in screenplay. I've written about serial killer. I've written a few about Iraq. I have one called Nicaragua. When they look at this, they might see issue 1 of Nicaragua up on there for Kindle. Nicaragua is going to be the next story. It's about a former Navy SEAL that gets basically hired by the CIA to destroy an oil rig in Nicaragua. And then we find out the massive corruption that's involved with that whole story. And he was supposed to be killed during the process, but he doesn't. He starts in a Virginia Beach County jail and then winds up in a Nicaraguan prison. And then he has to team up with one drug cartel to fight the CIA, who's teamed up with another drug cartel. And that becomes another fun action adventure, crazy story. So I'm going to keep on trucking until we get each title with millions of followers, hopefully, in the next couple of years.
Very nice.
Well,
yeah,
I got my copy. I just purchased. Just got it on Amazon. It'll be here by Monday. Not a huge deal.
Nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
Super fast.
Hell yeah.
Hey, so everybody watching, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, go get Blood Treasure. And we always, I keep posting it because Facebook puts us in the toilet during election times. But we support and promote veteran-owned businesses, veteran-owned anything. All right, and we do it for free. We need your help in the community.
And we want them to win.
Yeah, we want them to win. Right. So
we have other apparel companies on the show, and we want them to win as well. Like it's
exactly
such a simple concept.
That's what we do. Like so,
let's all win together.
If you like comic books, why not get this one? Right?
Yeah.
Like why not? Like just support veteran-owned anything.
I mean, honestly, even if you have kids that might like a comic book that are like age appropriate, get it.
Is it? You think are these age appropriate or?
I would say for 13 to 80.
Perfect.
I mean,
81.
You shouldn't read it.
81 might freak him out and die.
Yeah,
might send him into a heart attack.
But definitely anybody over 13. I mean, I would let a 12-year. I saw Terminator when I was 9. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I saw Chucky when I was 9. So whatever.
Bro, Nightmare on Elm Street and Chucky had me spinning, man. Like,
when I saw Schwarzenegger punch a hole through a guy's stomach, I'm like, all right, we did come to the right movie. At first, I was a little worried about the sci-fi effects, but then it turned out to be okay. But yeah, there might be some swear words in there every now and then, but I think every popular song out there has something like "Eat My Whatever," and it's kind of
they're WAP all over the place, and
Mm-hmm.
probably fine. They probably heard it before at least once.
I think it's tamed to some of the children's books that are being allowed in the public libraries these days.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conspiracy too.
Oh,
Yeah.
so let's talk. We can talk about that.
Facts, but
yeah, we can talk about that. So the great country of Texas, right? They don't allow none of that gender studies type stuff down here, right? However,
down here in these parts.
However, some of these teachers, right, are calling it gender bender. Have you heard that phrase yet?
No.
So you actually got extra credit if you dressed like the opposite gender, and they called it a gender bender day. Right?
Where?
In El Paso.
El Paso.
So yeah, and obviously because I'm honest with my children, they're like, we're not doing that. My dad would go lose his mind. Like, yeah. Now, if you want to, as Halloween, go as a boy, that's what Halloween's for. It's literally a joke to dress up like something that you're not. It's like a vampire.
But you better not go as Black Panther because you'll get crushed.
Yeah. Put a dress on like a sailor. There you go, Sean. Yeah, I like it.
We live in such a fucking confused world, man.
Right? Gender. Well, I mean, it shouldn't be confusing. You got a dick.
It's all on purpose.
And I always say this on the show, dude. Like, if you're one of my boys, like, if Buddy came and's like, guys, I gotta let you know, man, I'm fucking doing it. Like, cool, man, I'll support you, bro. Don't necessarily agree with it, but I got your back. But when it's being fucking put into our kids' heads and our kids, like, even prior to fucking puberty, are starting to get confused about, like, my daughter told me that there's a girl in her school that says she identifies as a cat.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Like, and it's not even a joke anymore. Like,
cats
you
are
should
crazy good at everything.
And God forbid, like the teachers, some of these teachers, what they're going through with this shit. Like, just keep that out of our kids' minds. Like, prior to puberty, even during puberty, like we're just confusing them even more. Like, it blows my mind, man. Like,
yeah.
And you see how angry these teachers
if
post
you're
stuff
an adult and you want to transition, I got your back. If I know you, I support you, bro. Do what you gotta do. But like, keep that shit out of schools and out of our kids' minds, man. Like, they don't need to be dealing with that yet. You know, that's
right.
just
And
my
then
opinion.
I made that troll post that it didn't work as well as I wanted
cancel
to.
statement that I probably just dropped. We're probably even further down the YouTube algos now, but whatever.
Yeah, YouTube's not. They don't like our gender bender. But I mean, if we just hashtag LGBTQXYW4Team5, like if we just
Chris, throw some rainbows on this fucking video.
Yeah, throw some rainbows on the video. We'll be fine. No, I tried to do a troll post. Didn't work out very well. But I said, just remember, if you think you're a bad parent, all right, there are parents out there that allow their kids to have sex surgeries, right? Those are bad parents. Those are like you'll never be as bad as those fucking whack jobs, right? And if I know somebody like that and you're offended by it, go fuck yourself.
It's something you can't reverse.
Yeah.
To be fair, you can always identify as a really.
It's just not like you can't reverse. We're talking about medication that they're going to be on for the rest of their lives. Like decisions like that to allow them to do that when their minds aren't fully developed, their bodies aren't fully developed. Like there's a lot of fucking ramifications that come with that. Like that's insane, man. And again, to the trans community, like if you're an adult and you want to do it, I support you, bro. Do whatever you want. It's a free country.
Right, no matter what your decisions are, like you should not be disrespected if you're not causing harm to someone else. Like you should not be disrespected. Like
100%.
You know, but once you
100%. That's just being a good human, right? That's just having morals and like
right. And like Brian said, it's a fucking mental illness, and I said this on a show 100 times. And again, you know, whether or not you like
whatever,
whether or not you like doctors, like the lead psychiatrist for Johns Hopkins said that transgenders is a mental condition. And it is against every fucking Hippocratic oath to treat a mental condition with physical surgeries.
And maybe it is. There might be something spiritual going on too, but that doesn't mean you should impose your spiritual beliefs or whatever's going on inside your consciousness onto groups of children that have to figure a lot of other things out as they're
already
growing.
We're dealing with so much, man.
They're trying to figure out how to tie a fucking shoe, right? And now we're telling them they might be a chick. Like, no, you're not a chick. Like, you're a dude, right? Hey,
real quick on the mental disorder thing, and I've looked into this. I could be wrong. So for anybody who wants to be like, God damn you, fuck you, Faceman, like the suicide rate amongst the transgender community is one of the highest. Weird. I could be wrong.
It's even higher.
You know, compared to other communities. I heard at some point it was like above like 50% that end up committing suicide. I do not know if that is accurate. So whoever wants to like take a snippet out of this and like state that that's what I'm claiming, I'm not sure, but that's pretty high, man. So like I could get behind the mental disorder aspect a little bit.
Like we literally shut down
like,
insane asylums because they were doing fucking surgeries to crazy people.
Yeah.
Right?
I support you though if you have a mental health problem as well. Like so, you know.
And now we're doing it now,
line.
anyways. Yeah. Now it's not even in an insane asylum; it's just in a fucking hospital. Like,
right.
Go in and get a sex change surgery.
We could do a whole show about that.
Yeah.
I just like how a lot of the political leaders look like Gotham City villains. You know.
Oh my God! Yeah,
I started.
How about that? Oh, who's that chick who was the cocktail waitress? No, not the cocktail waitress. Laura Boebert from Colorado. Did you see that one? You follow that story? So she's she plays this big like gun-toting Christian that doesn't do anything wrong, and then she's in a freaking Little Mermaid play, right? Vaping and getting groped up by a guy, like and flipping everybody off.
I support that.
Now, I mean, again, Hey, Little Mermaid turns the people on, I guess. I don't know, but like
she jerked off everybody in the audience.
Yeah, it's like you gotta. Hey, easy there, like here. But whatever, nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. She'll get elected because of gerrymandering, like just like the wackos on all sides, right? They'll get elected.
100%.
We literally like we have a guy in South Carolina, not anymore. He's dead now. I think like Representative Johnson, who said that Guam was going to tip over if you put too many sailors on it.
Oh, is he dead?
Right? Like I think he died, but like it's like no, like that dude was reelected like 4 times.
Yeah,
I think he's still alive.
That's a real life quote too.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
Sure it doesn't.
That's on YouTube. That is on YouTube.
And I love the Admiral. The Admiral, I've said on the show before, the Admiral was so perfect how he answered that. He's like, don't anticipate that happening. Pretty much, real politely, hey, you're a fucking moron.
Well, I like how we've also dropped the dress code limits, or whatever you call it, the dress code for Fetterman, who's probably a clone, who looks like Adam Sandler in that stupid movie Pixels, so he can just walk in with his sweatshorts.
Hold up, Colin. Did you say a clone?
Yeah, for sure. That dude's weird.
Like he came out of the hospital, looked like a completely different person. There, at least
the Dominion
conspiracy involved with the clones, like all like the famous actors and rappers, they've all been cloned. I've seen the crazy conspiracies on that as well.
Dude,
if you want to go another hour or two, I can't.
That one football player that got hurt on the field, they said he was cloned. The guy who got like that serious concussion or something, they had to like. His heart stopped, right? They had to resuscitate him on the field.
Not, of course, not from the vaccine, but
it was the guy from Buffalo.
Yeah.
Right. I don't watch too much football, but like they say that he was cloned and stuff. I've seen conspiracies on that.
When I grew up, heart attacks on the field happen all the time.
Right. So no, those numbers are that's data you can look up. There's the level of young athletes dying from cardiac arrest has shot up over 1,000% in the last.
It's insane.
Like it's fucking nuts.
And of course they don't report it.
Yeah, and again, what it is what it is. People want
causation doesn't mean correlation doesn't.
Ooh, are you using the bell curve for that? Are you using the bell curve for that?
Colin, I don't know how many comic books you're going to sell after this one because we've hit every topic that we shouldn't talk about.
Yeah, exactly. So,
well, there's no politics and blood treasure, and if you want to just read a good story,
Yeah.
No,
but I've already kind of lost hope in the voting base of America. Well, now we just cheat, so it doesn't really matter anyways. But we literally elected. We didn't, but that state elected a brain dead dude. Right, and it sucks that he had a stroke, and it sucks that he's not healthy. I'm not making fun of him for that, but we elected a guy who's brain dead.
He can't put a sentence together.
He can't talk. And he wears fucking hoodies and shorts in Congress. It's in the Senate.
Dude, even Jamie Foxx got out of the hospital, looked like a completely different person. And they won't talk about his medical situation and what happened there.
I mean, like our president's brain dead too, but that's just what it is. Like, I love Joe, man. We have been blessed for 7 straight years of great TV from our presidents. Complete opposite sides of the bell curve on why they're funny as hell to watch. But it's like it has been such entertaining TV. I mean, we literally had the president. We had the president of the United States say that he was at ground zero the next day after 9/11.
Well, people ask why.
No, you weren't, Joe. Why did you say that?
People ask why aliens haven't shown themselves to us for everybody to see, and I think it's because we have state senators twerking upside down on the beach and doing all this crazy stuff.
Unreal. But hey, another shout out to 10th Mountain
senators
Whiskey.
Are aliens.
Hey, watch the fight show last night. Go back on our platform and watch the fight show. We had Ryan from 10th Mountain Whiskey on, and their military sales, the Marine guy, Brian was on. Watch that. Go support 10th Mountain Whiskey. I am not drinking 10th Mountain Bourbon today, but there's the thing. They adopt platoons, right? So go ahead, donate to them, and then adopt platoons. But I'm actually drinking the cat shot for the Navy guy that we got on. Okay? I got to find the camera here. I don't know what
Armed Forces Brewery.
Armed Forces Brewing Company. Okay?
Yeah. I think my buddy's affiliated with that.
Yeah, O'Neill is for sure.
It's really good.
But it's really good beer, so go get it. If you're in El Paso, it is in Total Wine. I did find it, even though that guy didn't know shit. That was helping me. But
Customer service doesn't work anymore, no matter where you are.
Yeah, but no, he's famous now on the Big Earl's page. All 1,000 views. He's famous. But yeah, all right. I think we're ready for the AAR, buddy. You take some notes.
Yeah. I didn't really need to take a lot of notes. If you first things first, if you eject from your F-35 stealth fighter, turn on the tracker. It's hard to find them because they're stealth. Also check the weather and possibly get an updated weather report as you're flying across the sky.
I think they're gonna make that an SOP now, buddy. Good
maybe,
point. Right?
Maybe.
Check the weather, right?
I thought the Air Force was supposed to be fucking smart. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like they always hold that shit above us. Like, we're the smart ones. Blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, but I have an app that could have told me if there was going to be bad weather. I would have
my app tells me where my app tells me where my car is.
Yeah, possibly don't freak out and leave your multi-million-dollar aircraft unattended in the air while you go do.
They could sell the parts and help out Maui.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they could. They could try, but who would they sell them to? You know, back to us. Anyway, other than that, also, if your kid is if your kid is a morbidly obese 7-year-old, make him go play football, or run, or do something. Be active. It's your fault. There can be there's an argument that your kid being morbidly obese constitutes child abuse on your part, because they don't get to pick what they're eating. You do that. Anywho, that's as far as we're going to go with that one. And then you should look into Blood Treasure, the book of the first in a trilogy of graphic novels by Colin about a pirate who becomes a vampire, but also has mere mortals who float his boat during the day.
Oh, I like what you did there.
His fighting. He does his floating and fighting at night. That's it. That's about it. It took a long time to talk about it, but
Colin, get the last word. Tell us again where to see it, and then Dan can close us out.
And I already bought the Blood Treasure, so I was the first one. Boom. On the show.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No, you weren't the first one. There was 4 people who scanned it before you.
Yeah, but
usually our guests, they just send us a copy, before they come on.
You did get a copy. I sent it to you. You did get a copy. I sent it to you.
I didn't get a copy. I'm ordering one right now.
Well, you got the just the script of it, yeah.
Yeah, I was supposed to be in Somalia by now, so I've been out of work for a few months. So I would send you guys copies probably next time. So I apologize.
I'm just fucking with you, brother. I'm just fucking with you.
But it's obviously on Amazon right now. Once part 2 and part 3 are done, we'll be able to get it as a full-length graphic novel into all the major stores and your favorite comic book stores if they still exist. I want it in Forbidden Planet in New York City, Barnes and Noble, that kind of stuff, Books A Million or whatever. So, but that deal will happen probably right after Christmas time. But right now it's on Amazon. Single issues 1 and 2 are available on Kindle, but I think you want the double edition, in your hands, because it's a lot cooler to flip through instead of look at your computer for a comic book.
True.
Awesome.
Oh. And this is not written by ChatGPT, guys.
No,
this is not. He's been doing this for 15 years.
Yeah.
Hey, Colin, thanks again, man. Thanks for coming on. Super inspirational. I think you're pretty much an example of never give up on your dreams, right? Because you're still pushing, and after 15 years, you're still trying to get after it, make it happen. And I think I'm excited to read it. I think from the story itself, you never know. Watch this be in the movie in the big screens in 2 years from now. So good
I'll
stuff
be in
on
my
that.
grave.
Thank you.
I'll be in my grave with a pen in my hand.
There you go. Hey, that's the way to do it. Embrace
Exactly.
the ambiguity of the journey, right?
I'm either going to die of success or die of a failure trying. I've decided this is how I'm going to make my career.
Yeah. There you go. and it's gonna happen, and we'll have you back on when it really blows. Thanks everybody for
Great.
tuning in.
Blows
Sean,
up,
Linda.
not blows.
Yeah, when it blows up. Yeah,
Blows
no?
up. I think it's the.
Why do you gotta get
really
so,
blows?
buddy? It's okay, man. It's okay. Like we've talked about your weekly adventures, so like it's okay.
Sounds weird.
It's okay.
Just weird.
Anyway.
Anywho.
Yeah. Don't be so.
Yeah, buddy.
Thanks
relax.
everybody for tuning in. Yeah, relax, buddy. Like it's okay. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Hey, for all of our viewers that are still on right now, go over to YouTube real quick, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't. And if you missed the show and tuned in late, go to veterantrashtalk.com. It's got the links to everything. We put this on Spotify, YouTube, obviously, some other places, right, Nick? Apple,
Yeah, all over
Apple
the place.
Music,
Yeah,
all over the place. All right.
Although all I